And what are your principles and goals, some of them?
Well, I think they change over time. Right now, I've turned much more inward. I no longer contribute to non-Jewish charities. I used to be a major contributor to, opera and ballet and museums. I still love those places, but following October 7th, I decided to devote all of my energy, all of my resources to the defense of Israel and to the defense of the Jewish people. And so all of my charitable giving now is devoted to those two causes.
And that's very meaningful. And thank you for doing that for our people in our land.
Well, it doesn't deserve any thank you. It's something that comes from inside. La kol zman, to everything there is a season. And for me, this is the season of standing up for the Jewish people. All my life, I've stood up for the underdog. My father, who was not educated, always taught me, defend the underdog. Always defend people who don't have defenses. And for years, that meant for me defending African American people, defending gay people. I still do that. But now, the underdog of the world is Israel and the Jewish people. So there's no inconsistency with my principles. It's just that the target of oppression has changed. It would be as if I was growing up in the 1930s. Of course, my attention would be devoted completely to defending Jews against Nazism and Stalinism. And today, I'm defending Jews against Hamas, against woke culture, against diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is a disaster for America and a disaster for universities and a disaster for the Jewish people.
But at the same time, like you say, different seasons bring different things. But it does seem like you shifted your perspective a little bit because you were on liberal.
I am very liberal.
Still today?
Very liberal. I think of myself as maybe the world's last liberal. And I am a liberal, and that's why I defend Israel, and that's why I defend the Jewish people, because of my liberal principles. Liberalism entails accepting different points of view, having an open mind, and being able to shift your perspectives depending on changing realities in the world. So I haven't changed my principles one bit. I'm still a liberal. The world around me has changed.
Right. Not everybody that's liberal has your point of view.
Well, if you're really a liberal, you do. But if you're a woke, progressive, that's very different. I am not a person of the left. I'm a person of the center, but I'm a liberal of the center. I believe in free speech. I believe in due process. I believe in everybody having an opportunity to be represented. I believe in the open marketplace of ideas. That's liberal, but my liberalism today leads me to prioritizing the defense of Israel and the defense of the Jewish people.
And that's a very unique position.
It is. Unfortunately, it's a unique position publicly. A lot of people I know express that view privately, but they don't have the courage to express it publicly. And I hope I can be a spokesperson and help spread and get young people to accept that point of view. No, I don't care if you're a liberal or conservative. That's your concern. But whether you're a liberal or conservative, I want you to support Israel and support the right of the Jewish people to be free from any form of discrimination.
Do you feel betrayed by the party you were so proud to be a part of once they drastically shifted their stance on Israel?
I don't feel betrayed because I'm a cynic and I'm a skeptic and I don't expect anything from anybody. But I'm no longer a knee-jerk Democrat. I voted Democrat all of my life, from John Kennedy in 1960 to Joe Biden. There's no longer a presumption in favor of the Democrats with me. I will vote for who I think is the best candidate without regard to party. It might be a Democrat, it might be a Republican, it might be Bobby Kennedy, it might be no labels. My vote is no longer to be taken for granted. I'm asking myself my grandmother's question. When I used to come back from Ebbets Field in Crown Heights, watching a Brooklyn Dodger game, and I would say, "Grandma, the Brooklyn Dodgers won." She would say, "Yeah, but was it good or bad for the Jews?"
Right, that's exactly it.
She came from Poland. She understood the history of pogroms, and for her it was good or bad for the Jews. I'm beginning to ask that question a lot more these days than I ever asked it before. I want it to be good for America. I want it to be good for everybody. I want it to be good for Israel. But I do not preclude the question, is it good or bad for the Jews?
And now that's your basis.
That's a very basic question for me. I will not do anything that I think is not good for the Jews or for Israel.